Hello, I'm Emily Edwards, an intern with Climate Film, and what you just watched was Space Hope Charity, a film filled with love and sadness. A short film with our Southern feature. With us today is our film director, Sandy Cummings, and Charity Woodrum. Sandy and Charity, it's nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, my first question's for Sandy. So, while you were watching this or making this film, how did the idea of something like this come to mind?
It came about, it's one of those crazy things where I was just having coffee with a friend and we were catching up. And she started telling me about this young woman she knew named Charity Woodrum. And she had been Charity's junior high school cheerleading coach back in Canyonville, Oregon, and had known Charity for years. And she told me about Charity's life journey, and I literally got goosebumps hearing about it, thinking it was so inspirational to me that I knew it would also be inspirational to a lot of different people for different reasons, whether it's grief, whether it's following your dreams, whether it's overcoming obstacles in your life. I just felt like it was something that could benefit a lot of people on many different levels. And so I asked this mutual friend if she would put us in touch, and she did. And that was the beginning.
Well, I can definitely say, as I was watching it, I probably cried for a good 30 minutes. It was so heart touching. I definitely cried.
Yeah, it's definitely an emotional film for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Charity, why did you decide to do the film?
Well, I was pretty hesitant at first, to be completely honest, because at the time Sandy was a stranger to me, and it meant putting a lot of trust in her, which was hard to do at first. But she flew after, talking for a while. She eventually flew down to Tucson, and over tacos, we discussed like she had a life story rights agreement in hand, and I asked her why she wanted to make the film, and she basically told me, exactly what she said just now, and that she felt like it could help other people get through their own rough times.
Mhm.
And over the years, I have had people tell me that seeing me go through what I went through and survive it helped them do that themselves through their different situation. And so I felt like our goals lined up, and for that reason I decided to trust her. And it's been, what, 5 years now, and now I consider her one of my best friends. So I don't regret it at all. I'm very, pleased with how the movie turned out and how Sandy told my story. And she sent the rough cut to me, and I had no notes. I was fine with everything she did, and I think she told it in a very loving way, and I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, I thought it was very loved, like touching, and I just the way it transitioned from this during the story just made it so beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It was a lot of pressure, I think, that I put on myself because I wanted to do Charity's story justice. I wanted to do it right, and have it be something that she would feel good about. Because when you're putting your life story out there, you're taking it, it's vulnerable and
Mhm.
it's challenging, and it takes. I'm going to embarrass her now, but it takes a lot of courage to do that. And you never know what the reaction will be, and it just takes a lot of courage and a lot of guts to do. So I give Charity a huge amount of credit for doing it in order to benefit other people.
Mhm.
Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah, I've always wondered what it's like to make one of those films, like the difficulties of having to tell such a hard story that it's hard for someone to that doesn't know any of these people watching it and letting their story out there. Like it's always been like I wonder how hard it is.
Yeah.
And that's probably a good one for Charity to answer. I can't even imagine how hard it would be. I don't know that I could do it, honestly. It was much easier for me being on the other side of the camera. I don't think I could have done what she did.
It's definitely been, very hard, but I think worth it at the same time for sure. It's been, kind of cathartic for me and honestly pretty healing for me as well. Because I think when people watch the movie, I mean, after people watch the movie, these are complete strangers to me, but they know more about me than somebody who I would have known for like a year in regular life. They know more about me than somebody like that even. And so I feel like afterwards, I've had some of the most, meaningful conversations I've ever had. People really open up to me, and I think it's this, mutual aid, almost like we're helping each other by having these conversations. So it's been really healing for me as well, but certainly hard. Yeah, definitely hard, but I think it's been worth it already. So.
So Sandy, what was it like being the producer, director, and the writer for the film, doing a little bit of everything?
It's challenging. Fortunately, I didn't edit the film and I didn't shoot the film, so I had those folks to collaborate with. And on the one hand, it's really nice because you have control over every aspect of it, basically, and you can tell the film the way you really want to tell it. And then at times, I would ask other people for their thoughts. For instance, I sent a rough cut out to someone I used to work with at NBC News, who I have a lot of respect for, and asked for feedback. And I was able to take or leave the feedback depending on what I thought. But it was just, it's challenging, but it's also really gratifying to be able to really do your own vision for the story. So it was good.
Mm, So I know we've touched on this a little bit, but how, for Charity, was it to like, I know it was hard to tell a story like this, but if you could do it again, would you?
Yeah, I would definitely do it again. I consider, like I said, I consider Sandy my best friend, as well as the editor of the film and the filmographer. Through the process, it took us 5 years to film, and through the process, I really got to know them. And they're just amazing people, and they're my chosen family, really part of my chosen family. And so it was hard, but it was a lot easier with them as the crew. For example, anytime I'm crying in front of the cameraman's crying behind the camera. He was just, as Sandy always says, he put his heart in every shot. And, I just felt like it's just a team full of empathy and everything. And so I would do it again, but only with them. Yeah.
That's fine with me. I'm wanting to do a sequel. I want Charity to go into space and then
No pressure.
Space Hungry Charity 2.
Charity, what made you want to go into STEM of all careers?
I've always loved math since I was a kid, and it's just I think it's one of the things that it's what makes us human, really, is having curiosity about the world around us.
Mhm.
And I just really wanted to explore that curiosity. And actually, once I started going back to school, just out of sheer love of learning, I realized that I could make a career out of it as well. And so that's what I'm pursuing now, is to keep taking it further. But yeah, I just love exploring the world around us, and answering questions that I've had about the universe.
And then for like locations and stuff, Sandy, Did you have to do any kind of like location filming?
We did. I'm trying to think. Let's see. We did. I went first to I did sort of a whole circuit without the cameraman, and went and met some of the people that I was hoping to interview, so that I could pre-interview them and figure out what they might say. I went to Canyonville, where Charity grew up and went to school, and so we shot there on location, and then of course the different scenes in different places where you see Charity, like when she's at South Umpqua Falls. We did location shooting there and at the coast and the University of Arizona, the University of Oregon. So we tried to interview Charity in a lot of different locations, and at each one it would be, for the most part, about whatever in her life took place in that location, as well as things that were happening at the time in the location, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we did. We were in Arizona and multiple locations in Oregon, and yeah, we were here, there, and everywhere.
Okay. Is there anything either of you would like to say about Space, Hope, and Charity?
Is it appropriate for us to talk a little bit about Woody's Stars, the education fund that came about as a result of the film?
Yeah, of course.
Charity, do you want to talk about Woody's Stars?
Yeah, so after one of our private donors saw the film for the first time, she felt like people would watch the movie and feel called to act. And so she asked Sandy, is there anything that you and Charity want to do for people that want to do something, that want to help others? And so over dinner, Sandy and I came up with the idea, and the donor named it Woody Stars in honor of my son. And our goal is, to mentor students as they pursue their own dreams in college, starting with their freshman year. Me and my, Dr. Fisher, who was in the film, will provide mentorship, and we'll also provide an enrichment fund. So, for example, if a student can't afford a laptop, we can buy them a laptop and stuff like that. And yeah, that's one of the best things that's already come out of the film, even though it's not even, fully released yet. And so we're really excited about that. And we're about to choose our first Woody Star, and it will be, somebody from Oregon. And we're especially interested in people from, more rural communities in Oregon, just all over Oregon, and people who might be underrepresented in the STEM field.
Yeah, we're super excited about that, and doing it in Woody's memory just feels so great to have that outcome.
Yeah, as a bereaved parent, you want to honor your child in some way. And so this was partially inspired by my friend Lynn Frohnmeyer, who's in the movie. She started a foundation to help cure the disease that her 3 daughters died from. And that just really inspired me. And so being able to help students in Woody's name is, a dream come true for a grieving parent.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank
I
you.
must say.
The only other thing I would add is we are on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Space Hope Charity is where we can be found, and the website is spacehopecharityfilm.com if people want to follow along and see where we go next.
Perfect. Hey, thank you so much, Sandy and Charity, for being part of the Klamath Independent Film Festival.
Well, thank
you,
you,
Emily, for having us.
We're excited to go to the festival. I'm not sure Charity can go, but anyway, we're very excited about the festival, and thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.